everyone just raise your hand, we'll get the microphone to you. We'll start to the left here with Eric.
Jesse, two parts to this one. In terms of the chippiness, we expected it to be a physical battle, but was it even a little bit more than you expected? And it looked like Kamar took a couple knocks. Is there any concern maybe to not send him away for international duty due to his injuries?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think the game was chippy like we thought. Big credit to DC because they came in here and made it hard on us. Never really allowed us to get our rhythm and establish our flow in the game. And, part of that was that we weren't quite sharp enough, but a lot of the credit has to go to DC for the type of game they put us in. I think, the 2 weeks we can use in the right way. With all the guys on international duty, what's key is that, we'll evaluate going in. I think Kamar should be okay. We'll evaluate where he's at. But that in all ways, they use that game and that time to also balance out how to handle themselves physically, what the international game they play in looks like, and now making sure that they stay in communication with us so that we know when we get them back exactly where they're at and how to prepare them for that first leg of the next series.
We'll go front row to Michael.
Jesse, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sasha, question. I know a lot's been talked about his attacking game, but he had a very active role defensively. Would you assess his performance today?
Yeah, I thought, again, everything from winning head balls in there to picking up a lot of loose balls to then when he picks up loose balls, trying to help set up guys in front of him for plays. It wasn't an easy night just because, again, we didn't get a flow to the game like we normally do at home. So the ability for guys to stay focused and do whatever it took to gain an edge on plays was really important, and that's what Sasha did well. None of our guys got too frustrated, even though we weren't able to play the way we wanted to. They stuck to the game. They knew how important it was to win the battles, to pick up loose balls, to make sure that we weren't letting DC get an edge in the physical parts of the game. So Sasha provides a good balance in there for those types of plays. People talk about how many chances Sasha creates and how many assists he's had and how effective he's been in the attacking part of the field, which is very true. But he fits the way we want to play in that number 10 spot. We can't have a guy, he covers the most ground almost every game, and that's what we need. We need a guy that's tuned in on both sides of the ball, that covers ground, that closes things down, that when we win it, is ready to be on the move, ready to set the next guy up. And so his balance and his understanding of how to play that spot makes our team good.
We'll go second row to Frank.
Jesse, DC had a couple of dangerous passes and looked like they had some counterattacking opportunities. Was there ever a time in the second half you thought about locking up the game defensively?
You mean to go with like an extra back? Yeah, we were talking about it, but we, a lot of times we'll do that if we feel like we're being exposed on the wing because we think if we put an extra center back in, it helps release our outside backs to put pressure on the ball. We didn't feel like we were giving up too much on the wing. We felt more like it was in counterattack situations, and it came often from bad balls given away. The one element that we thought about is if you put another center back in the game, that helps you on set pieces. But we didn't really feel like that was a huge threat. They were getting some set pieces, but they weren't really very dangerous on them.
Stay to the right with Christian.
Was this arguably Ronald Zubar's best performance that you've seen now in a limited number of MLS games? And can you just give an update on Sean Wright-Phillips? Looked like maybe a left hamstring.
Yeah, I'll start with Sean. Yeah, he looked like he picked up a little bit of a pull. We're hoping it's not too bad. Obviously, you never want to put a guy in a situation to go in, and then obviously when he gets hurt to take him back out again. I thought Ronald was strong. We know he's good in the air, and that's one of the things that he brings to our team. Is when now they decide to play direct, and in this game they wanted to play Sabarillo a lot. Ronald's our best center back in terms of winning head balls. I think Ronald's had a lot of good performances, so this was a good one for sure. In the first half, it was setting up where basically if we could stop giving the ball away in bad spots, then we were going to eliminate a lot of their ability to be dangerous. We did better at that in the second half, but they did a good job of clogging the middle of the field, being physical, trying to win little battles, poke little balls away, and seeing if they could get out on the move in that manner. But for the most part, we kept things in front of us. Luis didn't have to make too many big plays, and although they had some plays that seemed dangerous, they didn't really get any clear chances.
Stay to the right with Everett.
Coach, can you talk about the play of your back line in the series?
Well, certainly to get a shutout is in 2 games to shut out the series is a testament to the whole team, but certainly to the back line and their ability to make it hard on the attacking players. We talk so much about being aggressive, playing in their end of the field, winning a lot of second balls back, playing in their end, but then when there are breakdowns, how to drop and how to keep things in front of us. And for the most part in the whole series, I don't think that a Spindola or Sabaria or Rolf got behind our defense and caused problems. So in that sense, I thought that all those guys got big high marks on the series.
Jesse, can you give us a big picture thought here about where you guys are and whether you thought you'd be here?
Yeah, I've answered a lot of these lately. Right now, I don't really have too much of the big picture in mind. I've got, getting our team ready for the next series. And, we feel that in order to honor everything that we've done this year and how far we've come and how everybody's been so committed and what we've accomplished so far, that in all ways we have to be prepared to go full throttle for these next games. And whatever it is, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, however long we have to go, right? We're going for the cup, but we just want to make sure that in all ways right now we're so dialed in, so focused, and that nothing gets in the way. No little things get in the way of us achieving our ultimate goal. So I know I have that in this team. I know I have that in these players, and it's just a matter of reinforcing certain things so that in all ways, we give ourselves the best chance.
Go back right to Jonathan.
Jesse, with the international break coming up and the amount of time that there is between the next game, how much time do you give the players now and yourself before you start looking ahead to the next game? Is it tonight? Is it tomorrow? Is it in a couple days? Give them some time with it.
Yeah, we're going to give them a couple days off, but even, we weren't our sharpest tonight, and we took kind of an extra day this week to do more of a regen and not train as hard because I'm trying to manage things physically. But the danger in that is that they lose a little bit of their sharpness and they lose a little bit of their game fitness and all that kind of stuff. So, I'm looking at myself a little bit and going, did I give them too much time off? They probably don't want to hear that. But I think, the ability for me to understand how to balance physically, keeping them at top form at this time of the year and making sure that we eliminate injuries and little knocks, but also keeping training going in a way so that they're sharp, they're clear, they're clean, they're aware, they're reacting. So, that'll be the balance for the next 2 weeks.
Go back right.
Jesse, considering you had referenced earlier the turnovers, adding the extra back and so forth, how concerned were you that this game might just turn on one of those fluke moments?
Yeah, well, it was fully possible at any moment. That game was alive until the very end. And, we kind of knew it would be like that. There aren't many playoff series where a team, especially in a 2-leg series, where a team just walks away with it. So as much as we felt confident in our ability to be aggressive at home and score goals, the playoffs don't often work like that. So, we prepared this week and talked about what second leg series can be like and talked about the fact that it's very likely that this is going down to the last second of the game. And it did. And again, I think for us being through that, we were a little nervy, but I think this helps us mature for what the next series will be like. That's the first time this team, with still a lot of new players, and have been in a do-or-die game other than the Open Cup. But this one, your season's done. So I think for us to survive, learn a good lesson, and be ready to move forward and be better for the next series, it was really important.
Stand back.
Jesse, obviously it's been a big week for Matt Miazga with his first senior team call-up. Could you assess his performance tonight, and then also give kind of a big picture overview of how he's been able to earn a senior team call-up at such a young age?
Yeah, I thought Matt, again, played a big role, made it hard on a Spindola. It was personal. You could see that, knowing Fabi, he didn't want to give him any space, and anytime there was a matchup between the two, he wanted to win every one of those battles, and for the most part, he did. He's matured. We've all seen it. There's been a lot of talk about Matt, and the main thing has been trying to keep Matt focused on what's gotten him here and what's made him good and what's made him successful. So that's been the main emphasis, is just keeping the work day, the work week, and his ability to concentrate on now, really working hard to get everything. And he's earned this chance. There's no doubt. He's played well with the 20s, with the 23s. I thought on both those teams he was the best player in the tournament for each national team. And now, he's had a good season and he deserves a look. That's for sure.
Go front middle.
Jesse, congratulations. Veron forced played his part in forcing the goal. Can you just talk a little bit about his adaptation to MLS and whether it's particularly gratifying to see even that type of intervention from him?
Yeah, in some of these games, it's difficult to figure out how to, Sean Wright gives us a little bit of something different off the bench, and Gonzalo gives us a little bit something different. We thought that because of the way the game was, that Sean Wright's experience and his ability to kind of put plays together and now in tight moments still make a play was going to be effective. Now he has to come out, and we put Gonzalo on, and the one thing we know that Gonzalo will do is when they're starting to push and the game comes a little bit open, Gonzalo's a big threat on the move. So he pressures Boswell, does well to get the ball, and then his ability to now put him on his heels. And Brad's movement was very good. Gonzalo played a perfect ball that set him up so that Brad could choose to take a touch, hit a first-time shot, run with the ball. So that whole play, it was the whole series. Once it came back here, it was like one play. We just needed to get one play right. Unfortunately, it took us till the very end of the game. If we could have found a way to get that one play right earlier, then we would have made it easier on ourselves.
Stay front row, Franco.
Jesse, I know it was the final few seconds of the game. What was that feeling like when Bradley put that ball into the back of the net? And the series looked like it was in your hand. It was pretty much you guys were in
jubilation. I think our fans and their excitement, the energy of the stadium was rewarded with a big play at the end of the game. And I think that's what we were trying to figure out a way to do, is to just make a play to now give everybody a chance to congratulate this team, to experience this team, for the energy of the crowd to get rewarded. So, I guess I felt very good about that moment too. And, we just want to keep going. We just want to survive and keep going.
Go front left.
Jesse, you've seen this rivalry from outside, now inside. What does it feel like when you are basically, if you want to look at it point-wise, 13-1? I mean, you got 4 wins and 1 draw, which was at RFK in the regular season. What's it like to best DC United that way?
It doesn't feel like it was that lopsided this year. I think every game, maybe the second game that we had at home, we kind of had a firm grasp on. But a lot of those games are tight, they're emotional, they're physical, they're what rivalry games are supposed to be. So it's been fun. I think DC, from the beginning of the year, those early games has made us a better team. I was just, making sure that they didn't end our season. So we tried in all ways to understand what they were going to bring, and also try to understand how we wanted to play. And it was a feeling out process. I don't know that the series ever really settled down. It was almost 180 minutes of on its end, on the balance, one play, physical, no real rhythm. Sometimes that's what it's like. And so our team did really well to survive the series and come out.
Go front, second row.
Jesse, 2 quick ones. Did you learn anything from the break you had before the Chicago loss? Is that going to kind of weigh in your mind as you go into this break, how you manage it? And secondly, DC was always going to be kind of a physical series, maybe an ugly series. You're going to face the Crew or the Impact, 2 teams with much more attack. Mm-hmm. Should we expect more of a kind of wide open series, or is it just the playoffs, things are going to get ugly?
Yeah, I would think things are going to be tight. It might not be as physical because DC plays a very physical style, but and there'll be probably more football in the 2 teams, specifically Columbus. I think that the way that they play and spread the field, and then the way that our style kind of contrasts with their style, sets up for a really good series. And then obviously if you play Montreal, their ability to keep their defense compact and tight and then explode on the counter, and then you've got Drogba. So I expect the next series to be tight, but I expect it to be, if you want to talk about from an entertainment value, it's probably going to have more soccer in it.
We're going to take 2 more questions. First, Jason, and then on the left with Eric.
First of all, congratulations.
All right.
And can you speak? Obviously, you worked very hard to get the home field. Can you speak about what a game like this shows? Not only this is one of the best facilities, but very tough place to win.
Yeah, I think so. The energy of the crowd tonight meant that our players stepped on the field and were excited about the challenge. Again, it was just it was like a crescendo, trying to get our team to make a play so that the fans could enjoy the team and enjoy the game and enjoy us moving on. So I'm glad we made that play at the end. And this is we love playing here. It's a great stadium, especially when it's full like tonight. There's so much energy. You know, typically our team plays a very entertaining style. Maybe not the best tonight, but I think it's a fun team to watch. I've said this a lot this year. This is a hard team not to root for because they go after games. They're good players. They're talented. They're aggressive in the attacking third. They create a lot of chances. They score a lot of goals. So, you know, I think the fans have grown to love this team.
And last question with Eric on the left.
Curious just to see if there's any validation for you and your team, given Spindler's comments before this series about wanting you guys. And I think he had one shot on goal the entire series.
You know, I mean, I don't take a Spindle as saying that. I take that as a guy who's a competitor who wants to try to show what kind of player he is. And as players, I think they all want to play in the best games that they possibly can and prove themselves against the best players. So if we have the supporter shield and then now you're looking at the next series and you say, I want to play the best team out there and I want to, you know, we're going to have to meet them at some point. I didn't take that as a knock. I took it as a challenge, you know, and our guys responded in a good way. We knew that Spindler was a big part of the package for what we were going to have to do to be successful. So big credit to our back line and the whole team really for limiting his chances.
Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.